Welcome back to Halftime Report on CNBC TV 18. Well, let's do one thing. Let's talk about Healthcare Global. That stock is buzzing in trade. There was a brokerage report that came in from Sharekhan where they're betting on the company quite a bit. They've initiated a coverage with a positive view on the stock. They do say that they have a potential upside of 30% on Healthcare Global, and they talk about how India's largest hospital chain is specializing in oncology treatment. They have 25 centers across India. So basically, they're looking at big moves there in terms of both operational performance as well as margins. But let's do one thing. B.S. Ajay Kumar, the executive chairman of the company, joins us now to talk more about that. Mr. Ajay Kumar, good morning and thanks so much for joining us. I just wanted to ask about first what your EBITDA or the operational performance could look like, because I was going through the Sharekhan report and there they say that the EBITDA margins could scale up to 18 to 19% by FY24 from 12% in FY21. Now, for you to scale up in such a big way, I'm sure there are some big growth triggers as well. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, see, our existing centers are actually at over 20% as of now. The mature centers, what we call as, which were over 3 years. As our centers, other centers, so nearly 14 centers are already there. The other centers we are newly started are scaling up very well. What was in the negative EBITDA margin now are moving up to break even and positive. So there is a catch-up going on, particularly now with the ramp-up happening. We expect all these centers also to reach the 15-16% EBITDA margin. So we are quite comfortable in saying in the next 2 to 3 years, our goal for the site is to reach close to 20% EBITDA margin overall for HCG centers. And we are well on the way to do that.
Right, and I was also interested in the way Milann, which is your fertility clinic or fertility center, in terms of the operations out there, the kind of contribution it can make to your revenue, because this is a more margin accretive business. How much does that contribute to your overall scheme of things now? And what's the likelihood?
Yeah, you're right. At one time, Milann was giving, it's a small center. It contributes only 5% or so of the revenue, but it had at one time, close to 30%. But because of the COVID and other reasons, it had taken a downturn. Now it is picking up. We expect in the next 12 to 18 months for EBITDA to pick up close to over 20 to 25% margin.
Okay, got that. Mr. Ajay Kumar, I had a question, actually, quick one on the balance sheet. Because I believe CARE has upgraded your long-term facilities very recently. It's happened, I think, a day or two back. We also know that you've been reducing debt. The report tells us, the Sharekhan report tells us that you've reduced debt to the extent of about 400 crores this year. They're expecting you to generate over 400 crores of free cash flow. Is that a fair estimate? And also with the ratings upgrade coming in, do you see any help in terms of having access to lower cost debt?
Yeah, certainly, we will have access to low-cost debt. As of now, you may recall a year ago, we had a lot of turmoil because of the COVID and other issues, and we were considered leveraged. Now, with the new equity we raised and the money we got from Strands and some more equity coming in through the, expected to come in December, I think we will be in a good position of being almost completely leveraged. With that and the expected increase in the EBITDA, we are very comfortable in, even though we don't give numbers, I think we'll be very comfortable in reaching those numbers which are expected. And this will happen in the next 2 to 3 years.
Cash flow of between 400 to 450 crores. Their estimate is you'll do this over from now till FY24. Is that an accurate estimate?
Yeah, even though we don't talk about numbers, yes, it is more or less in the ballpark of what we are expecting.
Okay. A lot of companies in your industry are going in for consolidation, going in for acquisitions. There are some major capex plans as well, putting more beds, etc. I noticed that you don't have any major capex plans, as we were just discussing. But can you tell us, why is that? What is the rationale behind that? And over the next 2 to 3 years, what would your own expansion plans be?
Yeah, see, oncology is a very capex intensive. That has been the issue. And as an entrepreneur, I saw a lot of opportunities years ago, even after going public. Like we have great assets in Mumbai, Nagpur, Calcutta and all. Unfortunately, the market perception, they couldn't wait. They were expecting us to deleverage very quickly. Now we have done it. And because of that issue, we have created a different model in CAPEX, particularly when it involves high-end linear accelerators and others, which are very expensive. We have now worked with companies which manufacture them to have a different model where our CAPEX is not very high. We use a modified hybrid version where there is some pay-for-use model. So with all that, our CAPEX requirement has come down, and also we don't buy any real estate. We have never done that. So that is why ours is now becoming more and more of a low CAPEX model, because where I look at it is we are operating. When we treat a cancer patient in a linear accelerator, we operate. Why should we own the linear accelerator? So we are now, as you know, in US and other countries, even in India, there's a leasing model. You don't buy cars anymore, you lease. So similarly, we also feel going forward, it's much healthier for organizations, focused organizations like Healthcare Global, which is oncology, not to go into high CAPEX, but kind of work with the manufacturers to develop different models, which will be far more better and less leverage and more profitable in the long run.
Take your point, Mr. Ajay Kumar. Thanks a lot for joining in. Unfortunately, out of time, low CAPEX as well as high ROC is the way the world is moving asset light. Let's wish you good luck for your future endeavors as well. With that, we'll slip into a short break with the news that the market's off the highs, so the best time actually to get in some trading ideas with Prakash Gaba, his view on the index as well as individual stocks. Stay tuned.